It's 9 o'clock at night. You just finished dinner. You sink into the couch, open your phone, ready to finally decompress after a long day, and then you feel it. Not a sound, not a movement, just that feeling when someone is watching you. You lower your phone. You turn around, and there's your dog sitting about 3 feet away, eyes locked on your face, completely still, not blinking, just staring. You smile a little, and then, maybe for the first time, you actually wonder what is going on in there. The easy answer, the one most people stop at, is they want something. Food, a walk, attention. But here's the problem. Their bowl is still full. You walked them 2 hours ago. Their favorite toy is sitting right next to their paw, and they're not looking at it. They're looking at you. Scientists thought the same thing you do. And then they decided to set up cameras, hook up brain monitors, collect urine samples from both the dogs and their owner. And what they found, no one in that lab was prepared for it. In 2015, Dr. Miho Nagasawa at Azabu University in Japan published a study in the journal Science. Not just any scientific journal, this is the journal that published the discovery of DNA, the human genome map, and the first evidence of water on Mars. She brought 30 dog and owner pairs into her lab. No special instructions. Just be together, naturally, like you are at home. Look at each other, pet each other, play or don't. Whatever feels normal. Before and after each session, she measured one thing: oxytocin levels. In the urine of both the humans and the dogs. Oxytocin, if you're not familiar with the name, is the chemical your brain releases when you love someone. Not enjoy. The real thing, the feeling a mother has when she looks into the eyes of her newborn for the very first time. People call it the love hormone. The results? In pairs where the dog and owner held a long mutual gaze, oxytocin went up in both of them. At the same time. 2 different species. The same chemical reaction. Your dog looks at you. Your oxytocin rises. You feel like looking back. Their oxytocin rises. That makes them want to hold the gaze longer. Your oxytocin rises again. A loop. Self-sustaining. No off switch. But Nagasawa wanted to go further. She wanted to know, is this something that develops just from living around humans long enough? Or is it something specific to dogs? So she ran the same experiment this time with wolves raised by humans from birth. Not wild wolves. Wolves that were socialized, bonded to people, treated as pets. The loop didn't activate. The wolves looked at their human handlers. Nothing happened. No oxytocin spike. No feedback loop. Which means this wasn't about habit. Wasn't about training. Wasn't about how much time an animal spends around people. It came from 15,000 years of evolving alongside us, written directly into the DNA of dogs. Now, think about your dog sitting there. Eyes locked on your face. You thought they wanted something from you. They don't. Science says the exact opposite. When your dog stares at you, they don't need you to do anything. They're doing the one thing that 15 millennia of evolution programmed their brain to do. They're connecting with you. In the only language they have. And here's what stops me every time I think about this. No other species on this planet, not cats, not horses, not chimpanzees, our closest genetic relative, none of them can look into human eyes and trigger that oxytocin loop. Only dogs. Only your dog. And here's something that rarely gets mentioned. Something that most common dog advice is actually getting wrong. There's a piece of advice you've probably heard. Don't let your dog stare at you too much. It creates dependency. You need to teach them independence. That advice has no scientific support. None. In 2012, Dr. Gregory Burns at Emory University in Atlanta, a neuroscientist who spent his career studying the human brain, decided to do something no one had ever attempted. He trained dogs to voluntarily walk into an fMRI scanner and lie completely still. No restraints, no sedation, while the machine captured real-time images of their brain activity. For the first time in history, the first time humans could see inside the brain of a fully conscious, fully awake dog, experiencing real emotions in real time. Burns presented the dogs with 5 different scents. Their own scent, a stranger's, an unfamiliar dog's, a familiar dog's, and the scent of their owner. All 5 scents activated the olfactory region. As expected, but one area of the brain lit up strongly for only one of those scents. The caudate nucleus, what neuroscientists call the reward center. The part of the brain that activates when you find out you won something. When you see the person you love walk into the room. When someone tells you that you did a great job after a brutal day. That region lit up for exactly one scent, their owners. Not food, not the familiar dog they lived with, not a kind stranger, just the scent of you. What does that mean? In your dog's brain, you are encoded in the same region that processes joy, anticipation, and reward, not because you feed them, not because you walk them, because over 15,000 years, the dogs that looked into human eyes and triggered that bonding response were cared for better, survived longer, and passed on that trait. The eyes staring at you right now are the end result of all of that. I want you to sit with this for a moment. How many times have you been in the middle of something working, cooking, scrolling, and your dog was staring at you and you just didn't notice? Or waved them off? That's okay. But now you know what was happening in those moments. When your dog stares at you, the reward center in their brain is active. They're not demanding anything from you. They're not upset that you're busy. They're just sitting there experiencing what scientists call positive anticipation. Just because you're in the room, just because you exist in that space with them. And if you look back even for 2 seconds, the oxytocin loop completes in both of your brains. 2 small chemical waves at the same moment in 2 living things from 2 completely different species. No words needed, no gestures, just the look. The journal Science called this hijacking the human bonding pathway. Dogs co-opted the same neurological system we use to bond with our own children. That sounds cold when you say it like that, but I think it's one of the most remarkable things evolution has ever produced. Thousands of years ago, the first wolves crept toward human campfires. No one knows exactly why. Maybe food, maybe curiosity. And over thousands of generations, the ones that learned to look into human eyes, to activate that feeling, to make people feel loved, those were the ones that survived. And your dog, sitting there tonight, staring at your face, is the final product of all of that. And now, this is the part I need you to really stop for. Everything we've talked about so far has been about your dog staring at you. The oxytocin loop, the reward center lighting up. You might be thinking, okay, cool. My dog loves me. I kind of already knew that, but you didn't know this. Burns's team ran a follow-up experiment. This time, no sense they showed the dog's photographs. Photos of different people, photos of other dogs, and photos of their owner. When the owner's photo appeared just an image, no smell, no sound, nothing else, the caudate nucleus lit up. Their brain recognized your face and tagged it as a reward. But here's the twist. Burns later scanned the brains of dogs under chronic stress, dogs experiencing prolonged anxiety over weeks, and he found something that changes everything. In those dogs, the caudate response to their owner's face had begun to fade. The reward region, slowly, was going quiet. Do you understand what that means? When your dog stares at you and their reward center activates, that's not a given. It's not automatic. It's not guaranteed to last forever. It only happens when your dog feels safe, when they trust you, when their life is good enough that their brain still has the capacity to feel joy. That stare isn't just love. It's evidence that your dog is okay, that they're happy, and you are the reason. So the next time your dog sits down and stares straight at your face, don't wave them off. Don't look back at your phone. Just look back, even for 2 seconds. Because in those 2 seconds, 2 species, 2 brains, 1 chemical loop that took 15,000 years to build something completes. And when your dog stares at you tonight, they're not asking you for anything. They're telling you, in the only way they can, I'm okay, I'm safe, I'm here. No other species does this. Just dogs. Just you. Just that look. If this changed the way you see your dog, subscribe and drop a comment below. I want to know, when does your dog stare at you the most? Next video, I'll cover something that surprised me even more. Why your dog follows you into the bathroom. And the answer isn't what you think.